Hi, I'm Anna from Pattern Knits, and this video has been made to guide you through the process of making your Heirloom Advent Calendar. This video is for the chunky blanket version, which I've knitted in Drops Snow yarn, and there's also a video for the wall hanging version in double knit. There are links for where to buy the pattern below, as well as useful links for things you might need during the project. So let's get going. Before you start putting it together, you'll obviously need to have knitted each of the pocket pieces. And if you want to block them to size, you can. I didn't block these with the bulky yarn. I don't find it's necessary, but weave your ends in before you start. It'll make it so much easier later. Lay your pieces out in numerical order as per the upcoming diagram. I've included a suggestion for the order that you join your pieces in. So you can see in this layout image here, join 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. And then the same again, so 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9 and 9 to 10 for your first two rows. And then for row 3 and row 4, you're going to do it slightly differently. Because these two rows have two double height pockets, what you want to do is join 11 to 17 and then 13, 14, 15. To 18, 19, 20, and then that'll make it much easier to just join those two blocks to the two double height pockets. Then join the bottom row, so 21 to 25, as you did with the first two. The way that I've joined my squares together is the same way that I joined my piece by piece blanket. So it's using a slip stitch, which is borrowed from crochet, and it's perfect for these pieces. Each slip stitch actually looks like a knit stitch, so it's in keeping with the knitted squares themselves. Start by laying your squares out side by side with the joining yarn running between the two pieces. Insert the hook into the left corner of the right hand square and then into the right corner of the left hand square. You'll have the two loops on your hook. Loop the long tail of yarn over the hook and pull through the two edge stitches. I'm slowing it down here for you so it just goes through those stitches and creates the V over the top. Move up to the next edge stitch up. Insert the hook through the edge stitch on your right hand square and then on the left hand square. Loop the yarn over the hook and pull through both edge stitches plus the joining yarn loop that's already on the hook. Continue until you reach the top of the squares. You can now pull the long tail through the loop to secure. Weave the top and bottom end in and then repeat until you've got all of your squares joined into blocks. Using the same technique as the vertical join the rows horizontally. I like to start from the right hand side and work across, as I find this just flows better with the technique. Try and keep your tension nice and neutral, don't pull it too tight or your squares will start to pucker. Once all your squares are joined, make sure you weave those ends in and it should look something like this. You could stop here and leave it as is, but I wanted to add a little I-cord edge to make it look nice and finished. Using two double pointed needles, cast on 3 stitches. You'll notice I'm actually using circular needles. I didn't have double pointed needles in the right size. If you want a bulkier I-cord edge, cast on more stitches. Position your work so that the right side is facing away from you, so you've kind of got the edge facing upwards towards you. This will ensure that the I-cord is most visible on the front of your work. Knit the stitches on the needle. Once the third stitch has been worked, insert the tip of the needle with the stitches on through an edge stitch and knit. It's like you're picking up the stitch and knitting it. This creates a 4th stitch on your needle. I recommend not starting on a corner. Start partway along the square and this will make joining more discreet later than if you do it on a corner. Slide your stitches to the right end of your needle. Knit 2, then knit 2 together. 3 stitches will be on your needle. Once again, insert the tip of the needle with the stitches on through the edge stitch and knit 4 stitches on your needle again. Repeat stages C and D until you get to a corner. To create a sharper corner, after completing step 3 on the corner stitch, as I'm doing here, so I'm picking up the corner stitch, knitting it, and then sliding my stitches to the end of the needle. Once you've completed that once, repeat it again and do another stitch into that same corner stitch. That will mean you have 2 rows of I-cord attached to that corner stitch. So you can see here I'm about to go back into the same stitch that I've already gone into. Once you've completed that, continue as normal into the next stitch on the new row. Repeat on all 4 edges. When you get to the starting point, knit 3 more rows without picking up stitches and bind off and stitch the end neatly on top of the existing I-cord. You'll have a bit of an overlap weave in your ends. And just like that, your blanket is done. I hope you've loved creating your Heirloom Advent Calendar and enjoy it for many Christmases to come. Why not try the wall hanging version next year? If you've got any photos you'd like to send me, I'd love to see them. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok and Facebook, or let me know below if you've got any questions.